In this video, I will be talking about the quadratic formula and how to use it to solve for x values for quadratic equations. The solution of the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 when a does not equal 0 is x equals negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So here, what this would look like on a graph is if we have a quadratic function, or in other words, a parabola. To solve for these two x values, the points where this parabola intersects the x-axis, we will use the quadratic formula. And these two values will be called your roots or solutions. So for the example, I have negative 5 plus 16x minus 3x squared equals 0. And they want you to solve for your x values here, or your roots. So first off, I'm going to see which values are my a, b, or c. So the value in front of the a squared, or in front of the x squared, excuse me, is going to be your a. The value multiplied by your x term will be your b. And finally, your c will be just your constant number, or just the whole number on its own, not being multiplied by an x term. So now I can write off to the side that our a equals negative 3, our b equals 16, and our c equals negative 5. So plugging these values into the equation we were given, we get x equals negative 16 plus or minus 16 squared minus 4 times ac, which is negative 3 times negative 5, divided by 2 times a. A is negative 3. So now first, I'm going to worry about what's inside of the square root. So 16 squared is 256, and then 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times 5 is 60. And this will be negative since we have three negative numbers being multiplied by each other. So we'll get 256 minus 60 in the square root. And then on the denominator, I get 2 times negative 3, which will be negative 6. Simplifying what's inside of the square root, I get 256 minus 60, which is 196, and then divided by negative 6. The square root of 196 is 14. So now I have negative 16 plus or minus 14, all divided by negative 6. So here the plus or minus means that we're going to have two x values. So we're going to have an x value when we do negative 16 plus 14 divided by negative 6, and our other x value will be when we do negative 16 minus 14 divided by negative 6. So here we have this, or negative 16 minus 14 divided by negative 6. So negative 16 plus 14 is going to be -2 divided by -6. And then I have -16 minus 14, so I'll do plus a negative. So I get -30 divided by -6. Here the negatives will cancel, and if I divide 2 from top and bottom, I will get x equals 1/3. Similarly, I'll cancel out the negatives, and then 30 divided by 6 will be 5. So my final answer will be x equals 1/3 and 5.